discussed about operators concept, and we completed input and output function explanation also. So today I'm going to continue remaining topic which is related to operators. So yesterday we completed up to this. Okay. So okay. So what is the eval function here? So eval function takes a string and evaluate the results. So you can observe. So yesterday only we discussed about input function, right? Input function will take only strings as a input, and if you want to change the input to type to integer, float, or complex, or boolean, whatever we require, that we can convert by using typecasting methods, right? Int, float, boolean, all those things. So especially if you want to read, the input string from the input, we can use eval function also, okay, instead of input. So basically eval function takes a string and evaluate the results. So if you declare values within a string, even the integers also, if you use this eval function, automatically it should be considered as a string and it will add all the integers. See, this is the example. So, and coming to this practice, where we are on the class one. See, 1 second. Yeah. So yesterday we created a project, right? Some how to create a project, and I explained how to create a project under the PyCharm. So after that, if you want to create any Python file, just right click on a new. You will get a options like this: file, scratch file, directory, Python package, Python file, HTML file, like this. So you can select Python file. Okay, it will give a pop-up like this. So you can give your own name, whatever you are practicing topics like operators. Automatically .py extension will be taken care by the Python. You don't need to give additionally. So type like this: operators, whatever file name you want, whatever topic you are practicing. So you can give the same file name for the meaningful understanding purpose. Let's just like enter it. Automatically it will create a .py file. It's already exists. Okay, it's already there. That's what it is giving. Pop-up I will give like operators underscore one. Operators underscore one. See, it's created and it is opened this Python file also. Like that, you can create the Python files for your practice purpose. Okay. So now where we are explaining about, discussing about eval function. So where I can, yeah, this elif. Okay. Not this here only. Okay, this I will explain here. Okay, eval function usage. So, for example, x is equal to eval of, what is the intention of eval? Eval function will take a string and evaluate the results. So, if whatever inputs you are giving from the keyboard, instead of input function, you can use the eval function to take all the inputs in the form of string. So here I have declared as a string 10 plus 20 plus 30. Okay. So now print of x. Okay. So now you can observe it will take all the integers in a string format if you use eval function instead of input. So in some cases, especially in the online applications, like while we are filling the registration forms for online applications, banking applications at that time, so few of the requirements that the user needs to be uh, fill some scratch codes, something called captchas also. So in that captchas, it will show something called some unique numbers and alpha numeric numbers. Sometimes it will give you in the captchas do addition 5 plus 6 question mark, something like this, you will get it. So once you fill all the registration form, you have to enter the captcha result. So then once you click on submit, then only the application can be accepted by the backend server. So this captchas and all, we are not giving through the keyboard, we are giving through the web applications through UI, so that we can so that we can evaluate the results whatever we required. That evaluation is done by this with the help of eval function. Okay, so at that time we can use eval function, but it's very rare cases we can use this eval function in our automation side also. And coming to next concept, command line arguments. Okay, so command line arguments means, so ARGV means arg is not a array, it's a list. It is available in sys module. So the arguments which are passing at the time of execution are called command line arguments. So for example, if we are entering your values while doing filling your employee registration, whatever it is in the previous example we explained, like enter employee number, enter employee name, all those things through the keyboard. So we have entered the values from the keyboard. So at the time of entering, we are enter the values one by one. So right here you can observe, here we enter the values how. So e number equal to int of, once we enter the e number, it will prompt e name. Again we enter the e name, it will prompt e cell, right, to enter the value from the keyboard. So instead of this approach, we can give command line arguments approach to enter all the values in one pair, one command line like this. Like this, you can pass while executing the program, you can pass all the arguments which is required for your program from the command line like this, so that it can consider all the values which required for this program as a input variables, and it will be executed as per the requirement. So you can observe here, there is a simple program here. Write a program to command line arguments. To use this command line arguments in our program, you have to import this module from sys import argv. See this modules concepts, how to import, how many ways we can import, all those will cover in future sessions. So as of now, just listen about this first statement, and remaining statements are common, right? The print statements. So the number of command line arguments, length function, this will also predefined function will cover in future sessions. So the number of command line arguments are this. The list of command line arguments are this. So here you can observe, and the command line arguments are one by one. One by one, how can we print? We need to use loops. Okay. Next, after this topic, we are going to shift it to this concept only. So loops, for loop or conditional statements, we can use, we can take the help of for loop or while loop. Those are called iterative statements in Python. We can call it as a iterative statements. So by using that for loop, we can print all the command line arguments one by one. Whatever we require, you can observe here in the console. So for the time being, I'm just copying this code and execute it in the PyCharm. So because copied from the Word document, it was having numbers, all those things. Just remove this, that's it. It will work. The number of line arguments, okay. Because this codes taking format is different in the Word document, that's what it is showing an error. You can give double quotes also, but this quotes given in the Word document, the format is different. Okay. So now I am running this. So you can observe we have to provide this length of arguments, but we have not provided. That's the reason it is showing like this. So we have to provide how we need to provide this length of arguments here. You can observe. See, the argument should be the command line, the list of command line arguments should be, we have to provide like this in the while executing the test case. So we can provide, we can run like this. So there is a terminal. We can select the terminal and select the command prompt. You can give like this delete delete.py. Okay, this is my file name space 10 space 20 space 30. Okay, this was in different folder. Okay. I'm going to run it. Okay, where it is Python programming, cd Python programming. Okay, now delete dlt.py 10 space 20 space 30. See, you can observe the output here while running this logic. Simple. It is showing what the list of command line arguments are. The first print statement, length of args. So I have given a length like this. Based on the length means length is nothing but a function. It will calculate how many arguments you are given for this program. So this is nothing but a usage of length. This will cover in future strings, list, tuple, each and every data structure. We are going to use this length function. Okay. So to get the length of the data. So here we use this length of arguments. So how many are there? 3 arguments. So now in the second, third, this print statements is going to print what arguments one by one. So command line arguments are one by one. Okay, command line arguments are one by one. So it is printing what based on this for loop one by one it is printing 10, 20, 30. But we are not provided, we are not entered any command line arguments while executing the program. So from in this print statements, we just see again. I will run this. See, I have provided file name space command line arguments before executing the program. Once you click on enter, this see, it is showing you the count of length means it will give the count. So what is the count here? It will consider delete.py is also one command line argument, and this is one command line argument. This is one command line. This is so 4 command line arguments. So this length function got identified, and the second print. I mean, this print statement is going to print the arguments information. So what are the arguments here? This entire thing, right? This entire thing comes under argument. So that's the reason it printed where is the arguments are available. The arguments are available in this particular location with along with the file name and the argument values. And the next line number 4 print statement is trying to print command line arguments are one by one. This is the print statement. It is printing one by one means. So we used for loop. See, in Python, for loop is one line. We can write this print also here. One line only, like not like Java. Okay, Java you have to write bunch of things. If the people who knows Java, they can understand. Okay, so in one line we can write the for loop like this. So this for loop will return what? It will iterative statement. For loop is what? Iterative means it will print all the elements which are available in the collection. So what are those elements? So 10, 20, 30. It printed all these 3. See, when these command line arguments are going to use in our automation testing, basically, we won't use this command line arguments from our web UI automation point of view. If you are running a Python programs or like as a Python program development, these kind of command line arguments will use to fulfill their requirement for that program. So in like administration side also, they can use these command line arguments to run their scripts, like admin people, system admins also, they can use these command lines. So arguments to run their scripts, like to copy from one file to another file, find out they need to find out the list of files which are available under this particular system or administration module. They can use this kind of arguments. Okay, as per the programming knowledge, I explained this, so don't confuse. So what is it is how it is writing, because these are not that much used by the automation side. Okay, so it's just basically a explanation about, I mean, not uh, about the topic. Okay, what we are using, all those things. Okay, so the next one is the next topic is flow control. Flow control. Okay, so operators topic is completed. So now we are going to discuss about flow control. Okay, this is the output statement. Sorry, this is also there. This output statement we already know, right? So we are using print. Print is nothing but a output statement. Okay, input statements, we are having a input function, predefined function, that we can use the input statement to read the dynamic inputs from the keyboard. Coming to output, just a print. It's a how many ways we can print the statement, all those things that will there in this output statement in the notes. You can go through that. It's just a theory to print to print our content in a customized way, line by line, all those things. Yesterday we discussed, right? Back escape characters. So by using this, we can use this or customize the output statement, the print statements, whatever we want. Okay. So the next topic is which flow control. So flow control, this is the starting point of your programs in our automation. I mean, your Python, whatever learning, this topic starts your Python programming. Okay, so up to this we have covered basic understanding about the language fundamentals of Python, operators, data types, how to convert the data type from one type to another type, like using typecasting, like integer to float, how many ways we can use the operators. Okay, how to use input and output functions in our program. All those things, these are the basic things to construct a simple Python program that will land. So this topic onwards, your programming will start. So you people have to start practicing the programs. I will provide one assignment on this today's topic also. So tomorrow you people have to run these programs, or execute these programs and send it to me through mail or in our WhatsApp group. Okay, with the logic in the notepads also. Better to send a mail so that I can see everyone's logic what they have written. Okay, so now we are going to start the topic about flow control. Flow control describes the order in which statements will be executed at runtime. In which statements will be executed at runtime. So a simple, people can say so many definitions in different ways in our loops for, I mean, if else conditions related theory and all. But here I can say like, so if you are written a simple Python program, so you just correlate these things. Where is our the previous program? Okay. If else, I'll take the example of elif. So if you know your program, something called you are doing some registration for your a web application purpose. Let's say take a generic example of Facebook. It's all your favorite site. Okay, so because I don't have a Facebook. Okay, so coming to Facebook, all of the people having accounts, right? So we are going to register. If you want to open our Facebook account, what we are going to do, we are going to register. Click on register button, and we can start registering your details to open our Facebook account. First name, last name, date of birth, email ID, mobile number, and then click on submit. Then it will get a confirmation mail to your mail, or if you use a mobile, they will send a OTP to you and you can activate the account. This is the process. So in this process, if you know everything go cool, like everything will be going cool without having any hurdles, something called conditions. See, while filling the form, it will ask one condition, whether your gender, for example, gender is the one of the field, right? In the registration form, the first name, last name, email ID, those are the common fields that you expect as a output, because you are inputting those basic details, first name and last name, mobile number and email ID, right? So we can enter it. But coming to and like while saving that registration form in the backend, the Facebook is the Facebook backend developer, whoever worked on the backend side, they simply click on they simply accept the request which is coming from the UI. So whatever details we have entered, they will they are going to write a backend program like using Python, Java, .NET, whatever programming language those people are using. They use to write a backend program to capture our input request and process to the database. So at that time, uh, the remaining fields, the first name, last name, mobile number or email ID, all those are the common things. Like there is no question mark on that. What about our gender? So either it is asking what, if why I'm saying if condition is coming here, if you are male, select this M, I mean select on this checkbox. If you are a female, select on this F checkbox, I mean F, M or F. Why this condition is coming now? At what situations we are going to use this flow controls? See, the application flow is normal. If you don't have any question mark, if you don't have any condition in your Facebook registration form, the flow will be go normal, right? It won't have any doubts. So you are going to fill, other than the gender, remove about this gender field, forget about this gender field. The remaining fields, what? First name, last name, mobile number, email ID, address, something like this, and you are clicking on submit. The flow will be normal. There is no blocker for you. There is no question mark for you to fill the form, because the flow will not come out while registering the form also, because it there is no kind of flow controlled logic. If you entered your I mean if there is a field called while registering this form called gender, then the flow will be controlled. How it should be controlled? Because of it is having a doubt which option you have to select, either male or either female. So based on your what you are, right? So either male or female, you are going to select it. So if it is a female, okay, then they might be write some logic in the backend, right? So simple, forget about this female and male. There is a date of birth field is also there. Okay, this is also hurdle, like to register your form. If you are filling your date of birth in the same registration form in the middle, if you entered your date of birth less than 18 years old, it's a minor. Okay, nowadays school kids also having this I mean social networking accounts, right? So if it is a minor, what will happen? Then they are going to write a additional logic in the backend. Minors are registering to this application. Be cautious, because we have to restrict some content to the minors to expose the while they are exposing the Facebook application, right? They don't need all the content. We have to restrict, and we need a guardian, because minor, they don't know what they are doing, because they don't have a web knowledge. They're having a limited knowledge. They might do something called, they might click on some ad by seeing this a flower, automatically it will be a virus or something. We don't know. It's a script to crash your system. Some people will develop that kind of viruses also. So because all these sites are secured, we don't know. Some ads are there. If the minor person, they click that particular ad, it will be downloaded some exe file into your system. It will start crashing your entire OS. So in that case, the backend developer, they have written one logic called if data birth. If, why I'm saying if means the condition, it's a control flow of your execution of your registration form. They are controlling with what some conditions. That cases we are going to use in the real time conditions especially. So coming to the meaning of flow control is this. That's what I explained, all these social networking stuff. Okay, so we are not only social network, just it's a generic example to understand your like the knowledge, like to understand the process. Okay, so everywhere we are having this kind of conditions. Let's correlate with your whoever are working in their real-time applications also. Okay, so the definition of this flow control with what? Flow control describes the order in which statements will be executed at runtime. Order in the sense, the while doing filling the Facebook registration form, you are following an order, right? First you are filling what? First name, last name, okay, email ID, phone number, and then what you are filling? Gender and date of birth and address. After filling off, this is the order of execution. Who is going to controlling your order of execution? These conditions. So how we can handle this condition? If you having this kind of question mark, like by providing the date of birth and the gender, how can you control? With the help of this control flows. So under this control flow, there is a three types of statements. What is the, what are the statements? One is conditional statements, another one is transfer statements, another one is what? Iterative statements. See, coming to conditional statements, we are having a statements called if. We can call if else in Java, but here we can call it as a if elif. Just a little bit pronunciation is different. Okay, if elif, instead of if else, we can call if elif. And there is a switch case in Java, switch case in the conditions. There is no switch statement in Python. We can write that kind, we can handle that kind of switch based conditions using if elif else. If elif else. Okay, so now we are going to write a logics about this if elif else related conditional statements. So by going through the theory, after that we are going to discuss about iterative statements called for loop and while loop. Sir, so what about do while loop and for each loop in Java? All those nonsense are not here in Python. Python internally taken care about of for loop and for each loop. They implemented in one loop statement called for loop. There is no do while loop. All those do while loop kind of multiple looping statements they implemented in one while condition. Sorry, one while loop. Okay, so we're having two loops. Those are called for loop and while loop only. And this is a additional concept in Python, so called transfer statements. Transfer statements will do what? It will help you in the execution of the program by using these statements called break, continue, pass. Break means if you want to, the loop is keep on running. For example, if you are using a for loop, you want to print numbers 1 to 1000. Okay, so once you execute the loop, what will happen? It will keep on printing the numbers until the 1000 is complete. Whenever the 1000 is done, okay, then automatically it will exit from the loop and it will come out from the loop. So I want to break this execution in the middle around 95 number. We can use this break statement. It will break the loop. Same like as if you want to continue it, we can use continue. So all these will have a different explanations in future. So at the high level, I have explained this diagram, and I think you've got an idea about why flow control conditions, conditional statements, transfer statements, why loops, why conditionals like if else we are using in our program in real time scenario. Whenever we are executing some statements, see, statements here is nothing but your logic. It's Python code or your Selenium code, anything. So in the programming in the programming world, we can give any number, we can say any number of similar names to pronounce to use for our programming. So here statements are nothing but our logic. While executing our logic, if some of the logic is terminates you instead of normal flow execution, that termination point we can put a conditional statements whether you want this or this, right? Question mark. So coming to if slowly control statements called if. First one, if condition statements are if. This is the syntax. So here you can observe this is the if condition I have written. So I'm going to write the logic using if condition. This is a elif. Okay. So here I will write it. If condition, comment, how to create a comment while writing any logic. The others needs to know what kind of logic you have written, and other programmers, other automation testers needs to know what kind of automation script you have to develop. How can they know? By providing a proper meaningful comments. Just shift hash. Okay, this is the comment. So here I am giving if condition, if condition topic explanation. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to write the logic for the if condition. First of all, see, in the people who are came from Java are the people who knows already programming languages as Java. Why these many times I am stressing? Because it might be confusion for them. Okay. Because if you are writing a simple for loop in or if condition in Java, so how can you write? Anyone can tell me? So how can you write? Basically, I don't have time, right? For us, so I'm going to write here online compare for loop in sorry if condition in Java. Simple. So any simple example we have to take. So Java if condition. You can observe in this logic somewhere these people are not properly explained. The syntax and all. It's still loading. So see, here is this exercise. Okay, okay, try it yourself. This is online compiler. People who don't have a software installed in your system, you can search like for Python online compiler also. Python online compiler. If you select any of these links, those will provide virtual execution for you. Okay. All these are the online compilers. You can run online without install the software also. Okay. Okay. It's just loading. See, this is an online compiler. See, print hello world. It is printing like this. So here, this is the if condition in Java. Okay. So why we have written public class main and main method, if condition within the main method and SOPs, all those things. See, Java is a only object oriented programming language. It supports to create a Java program within a class. Without a class, you cannot write a Java program. It's not possible. That is the backdrop in Java. And coming to Python, as of now, we executed few logics here. Somewhere you can observe. Uh, this is our loops. Okay. Here you can observe some this. This is a else. Okay. This is a else block. I'm just uncomment this. So did you observe anywhere I have written class, main, public, semicolons? All this nonsense is not there. Okay. Because this is following the first demo session I explained. That's I want to explain you again. So Python is a multi-purpose programming language and it supports multiple programming methodologies. Okay, scripting oriented methodology that will helpful for what? System admins, DevOps people, they can use the scripting, they can adopt the scripting oriented methodology programming approach for their daily work needs. And infrastructure means DevOps infrastructure, system admins, Windows admins, whoever, Linux admins, the people came from infrastructure background, they can use, they need to adopt a scripting approach. So this is nothing but a scripting approach, scripting oriented approach, something called data types. See, whatever, this is all called a scripting oriented approach, scripting oriented approach. So, and what about uh, procedure oriented approach? Procedure oriented approach is nothing but if else conditions. This we can call it as a procedure oriented. We all these are the procedures internally. If you go through the documentation or any tutorials, you can say what is the procedure oriented approach in programming. They will give the first option is if else conditions, because this this approach is called a procedure oriented approach. Okay. And what about a module oriented approach? What about functional oriented approach? What about object oriented approach? All these programming approaches, developing methodologies Python is following. We can write a simple Python program by using all these approaches, and we can mix all these approaches as per the custom requirement. Okay, so you can observe this is the object oriented approach in Python. Don't confuse, this is the object oriented approach. This you can write a object oriented class in Python. This will come in future. Okay, and this is what procedure oriented approach, and this is what scripting oriented approach. Somewhere I will show you in future function oriented approach, module oriented approach. So these are the multiple programming methodologies Python is going to support. That's what it's flexible for each and every area. Something called web development, something called automation testing, data science, data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, gaming, robotics, every platform. Okay, so why I'm saying all these things? To know the difference. See, to write a if condition, why these people have written this much logic? Simple. We will how to write a if condition, we can see now. So name, see, I'm not declaring any class. I am following procedure oriented approach. Simple. Name equal to input of. Input means we know, right? We are here from today onwards, whatever logic we are writing, that we can use dynamic input approach. Dynamic input means we can provide the input from the keyboard. We have to habituate this approach. So in future also we are having this kind of dynamic input in our real time also we are giving. Dynamic input is nothing but simple. I will show one demo site. Okay. So why we need to say every time Facebook all those things? Demo. This is a demo site. This useful for all automation platforms to practice automation scripting. Okay, this demo site you can observe there is a registration page. You can observe I want to fill this registration details. Once I click on submit, I want to register in this application. What is this application? This is a kind of tours, something called our travel site. So go IB, sorry, Abibus, what is called Red Bus kind of sites, right? So those are that kind of site is a demo site. So here I want to book a flight here, or I want to book a hotel, I want to book a cab, whatever we want. So we need to register first this application. So I have to fill all these details with my username and password. Once I click on submit, what will happen? The registration will be done. Okay, done. The registration will be done. I'm able to get a login with my registered username and password here. Right. This is nothing but a dynamic input. We can say this, sir, it's a UI. Yes, it's a UI. This can consider as a keyboard, right? You are entering your details. Something called you are entering your details from the keyboard. This is a dynamic input. There is no static input like this in the real time. Something like a equal to 10. Okay, and b equal to 20. We are not giving this kind of variable declaration in the program level. We are going to give this kind of stuff from the dynamic approach using keyboards. That's the reason I am using input to function now onwards and each and every program to understand the logic. So input name equal to what? Input of by default input will take what? String, right? Right. Otherwise, if you want to enter the key number from the keyboard, what we need to do? We have to typecast it. Okay, either integer or float, whatever it is. So enter number. Okay, done. This one is done. Okay, first line of code is completed. Now I'm going to write a if condition. If name means that we are giving from the keyboard, right? If name double equal to, see, sir, yesterday we discussed about operators concept called double equal to, not equal to. Where we are using these operators in our program? Here only. Okay, these are the requirements that we are going to use all the theory concepts what we discussed in the yesterday's class. Okay, name double equal to what? Name is string, right? That I have to declare in quotes, colon. This is the only syntax that we are going to follow in Python. Colon, where we are going to use this colon at the class level, at the method level, at the function level, at the if condition level, at the for loop level. At the end of this loop, see loop statement, you can observe colon. There is no semicolons, nothing, just a colon. Okay, if you put a colon, then it consider as it's a conditional statement, or it's a different statement to do your logic. So if you see, observe, if I am clicking on enter, the cursor will blinking you after a tab space. After a tab space. Why it is blinking you after a tab space? Why it is not blinking you from the day one? The problem is here. I mean, the line 0 from here. Why it is not blinking from the here? Why it automatically blinking here? So the Python is following one base syntax called indentation. Then indentation. What is indentation, sir? It's a tab space. That is the base thumb rule syntax in Python while writing a logic. Other than this, there is no semicolon. If you miss the semicolon, the logic, so not like Java. So you can observe. If you miss this a semicolon, okay, here, click on the run. What will happen? See, into time equal to 22, semicolon is expected. Okay. So, okay, I have given the semicolon here. If I remove this something called one open braces, I mean close braces, run this logic. So this is required. These are all the syntax errors that we are following in Java, right? Same thing as only one syntax error Python is following, I mean, called indentation. Indentation means one tab space. So why indentation is required? You can observe in this object-oriented program, just an example. See, this is a class, okay? And this is one constructor. Okay, this is one method. But how? By seeing it is a meaningful way, and the code which is belongs to this constructor is what we have written within the constructor. The code which is belongs to this employee information method, which is within this method, and the code which is we are calling a object, all those things. See, this is the way we can call the object in Python. Very simple, that we will discuss in OOPS concepts future, almost 10 to 15 class after we can discuss these concepts. So how we are creating object from where, what is the position? We have to create a object at class level, right? So this is the meaning to create the object at class level. But this code is belongs to what? These particular methods, relevant methods. So like this, we can write our logic by following indentation. It's a mandatory. It's a thumb rule. So now I click on the enter. Put my cursor here after call and click on enter. The cursor will come a one tab space. Okay. So because the logic that we are going to write that is related to if condition only. That's what the intention here. So now I'm going to write a logic called hello, hello, and good morning. Okay, some meaningful message I have written a logic. So now you can observe. If I click on this, the cursor will pointing here only. Again, if you want to write more logic, you can write within the if condition. So I'm going to write another logic called how are you? Okay, done. Okay, now the if condition satisfied, the logic, whatever you are providing a name right from the keyboard, if it is satisfied, this logic is going to be printed. If it is not satisfied, the input name is not Vishwa. If it is something another, that's what I told you in the registration form, like conditions. Condition means what? It will ask you question mark to execute the flow to come out, to select the option. Okay, but my name here, my situation is I'm not providing Vishwa as a input variable. In that case, what is going to be printed? So in that case, this will be printed something like so. Okay. So the if condition is done. Now I am running this program. See, it is asking a keyboard. From keyboard we have used input, right? I have used, I am writing Shiva. Hello user. Why this if logic is not executed? Because the condition is not satisfied. Why they, how can they decide if this condition is not satisfied? What is the operator we are using here? double equal to operator. So that's the reason the operator's importance while using your programming everywhere. So this double equal to operator is not satisfied the value whatever you are provided from the keyboard. It's not satisfied. It's not expecting value what they have written in the logic line number 6 in the if condition. Then immediately which one is executed? The print block outside of the, see, this logic is related to if condition, and this logic is related to normal code like scripting oriented approach, and this code is related to what? Procedure oriented approach. It is asking some, it is following some procedure to execute this logic. That procedure is nothing but conditions called if conditions. This if condition is asking where is the input. I need an input, Vishwa, but you have entered the wrong input. I'm not ready to I'm not ready to execute my block of code because my condition is not satisfied. Here we are using a double equal to operator as a condition, right? This double equals to returns false. This we already discussed yesterday. Equals to operator, equality operator, not equality operator. All these theory, if you gone through the theory one by one and correlate your theory concepts in the programming, just remember it. You will get an idea importance of theory. Okay. So most of the people the skip theory also. Sir, you can go to the YouTube somewhere. So multiple people will explain. It's not like that. You have to know how the theory and the concepts are using in the programming. Then only you will be master in the programming. You can write the program individually or independently. Okay. So now you can observe. Print hello user. Only this one is printed. Again, I'm executing this. Now I'm giving Vishwa. Okay, what is the output here? This print statement got executed, this print statement got executed, and this one also executed because it's a common one. It's a scripting oriented approach. Line number 5 and line number 6 are, sorry, line number 9 is common because the middle code is, we are using procedure oriented approach using if condition to print if that condition is satisfied to print the logic within the condition. After that, again the cursor come back to the back normal code and it will print this one also. That is the reason it is printing multiple print statement. You can observe line number 7, line number 8, and line number 9. All these 3 lines of output statement called print. Output statement. In the previous topic when we discussed output statement, print, right? In the Java, we are having system.out.println, system.out.in, so many ways is there. But in Python, we can use simple one statement called print. So this print is going to print the output statement which are available outside of the condition also, like this. So this is the right way you can write your if condition. Okay, if condition value. So now instead of a name you can give, instead of anything, like you can, we are having examples. I'm going to give you the list of programs. Okay, this is the syntax and writing a if condition. So what about if else? I said you here if else called elif, right? If else called elif in Python, we can call it as a elif. So what is the how to write the if else here? Simple, same example. I'm going to write a if else condition. Okay, so delete this. Okay, else, see, automatically elif or else blocks will be coming here. So this is a if else block. What is called if else block. I'm using if else, just 2 conditions I'm validating, either male or female, just correlate it. Either date of birth, while filling the date of birth for our Facebook page, it should be minor or major. All right, that condition here we are using either yes or no. Previously we just we are also used the same, but if it is a yes, print, otherwise the normal one print. But here if it is a yes, print this block, and else print this block, or other than else come out from the block. Okay, now I'm going to write another print statement called else. If I click on enter, see, if I click on enter, automatically the cursor start the print statements line only. Okay, here I'm writing print of okay, print of hello guest, good morning. Okay, if the user is not Vishwa, if the user is Shiva, previously what happened? It printed only the last statement called hello user, right? Now I have written a else block and I am writing a normal print statement. What is this print? How are you, user? Okay, how are you, user? Simple. So now you can observe this logic. Enter name. I am giving what? Shiva. Hello guest, good morning, how are you? Which one is executed? Which block is executed here? This equality operator is not satisfied with this name which you have given from the keyboard. Then immediately, which block needs to be executed? The else block, right? This block is executed because this statement is not satisfied. This block of code is not executed, and the remaining, which one is there? Else block and this, sorry, yeah, and this scripting approach, like the balance statement is printed. So now I am running it. Okay, Vishwa. See, this line number 7 and 8 got executed, and else block not executed because this condition is satisfied and this print user is executed. This is the common one. We have written outside of a loop. Sorry, condition, not loop, condition. Okay, we have written outside of a this for loop. Up to this, how can it knows it's outside of a for loop? If you write a logic here, then it comes outside of a condition. Sorry, not loops. I'm getting loops every time. So if you have written a condition, sorry, if you have written a statement here like this, print like this, so instead of here, if you write here, this will consider as it's a come out of a condition. It's not coming to the conditional logic. It's a come out of the conditional logic. It's a normal statement, right? So that's the reason it is printing everywhere. So now I'm going to write one simple program which will give you an idea about what if else condition. Okay, not theory, like not like this what is called names and all. Now I'm going to give a number, right? So n1 means number 1, or else I will take n number 1. This is my variable. I can give any name. Okay, num1 equal to int of y. We are entering numbers, integers. Int of input, automatically it will populate it. Just select that one. Int of input of enter first number. Okay, I have given like this. Enter first number. It's done. Again, num2 equal to int of input of enter second number. Yes, done. Okay, done. So now I want to know which one is the biggest number. That is my concern, right? Here, what is the why we are coming to the conditional statements? It will again I'm going to remember it, this theory. But why we came to the conditional statements here? The flow control describes the order which statements will be executed. So we are disturbing our flow, right? We know we have given two numbers as an input. So if you want to print those numbers, so we need to confirm whether which number is bigger out of these two numbers. We are disturbing the normal execution. We are putting a condition. We are asking you, so which one I need to confirm whether it is a bigger number or smaller number. So we are going to use this kind of conditional statements called if else, all those things. So now if simple n1, okay, n1 greater than n2, sorry, number 2 colon, see now colon, click on enter, the logic will start from here. Okay, print of biggest number. Okay, biggest number, okay, comma. We have to provide a variable. We have to add this variable in this print statement. What is the first variable? Number. I have to cross verify. If number 1 is big, this one will be printed. I will write a meaningful message for our understanding purpose. Biggest number is number num1. Okay. Now enter it. It is expecting the same line of logic, right? We don't have any logic to write. So I want to put it in a else block, right? Go back, click on back. Else, see, else will come. If you click on this, automatically cursor, colon will appear. Click on enter. It will start from this place. So print of now biggest number is number 2. Okay, comma, I have to put what? Number 2. See, here I have to put a variable called number 2. Done. The program is done. Now I am running this logic. Okay. Enter first name. It is prompting you from the keyboard. Sorry, enter first number. I am going to give 89. Okay. And what about the second number? I have given 45. See, which one is executed? What is the operator here? Greater than operator. The same operators topic we discussed about greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, right? That is the situation that we're going to use the operators as per the program requirement. We have to change it. Previously, we are cross verifying equality operator. Now we are using what? Right? So biggest number is number 1. Okay. Now I will execute it second time. Okay. 78, 145. Biggest number is 2, called 145. Right? So like this else block will be executed. So we are going to use this else, right, conditions in the program. Sorry, if else blocks. So now I will explain another program. So this will give you another way of using operators. Okay, I will take a print. I will copy from my notes because as per the time being, and I will explain. After that, we will go to the if else topic. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, so these two we covered. If elif, right? The third topic is if elif else. This is nothing but a switch condition in Java. There is no switch statement in Python. Okay, so we can call it as a if elif else. So now I'm going down to copy the logic for us. So where is this? Where is this? See, this is the program I have written now. Okay. Let's see all programs what I'm explaining, generic programs I have written in our notes. Okay, just go through this. Copy, 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 copy. Okay. I'm going to remove these numbers. So you can observe how I am providing indentation, putting print like this, enter it. Else need to start where? Elif. Sorry, else, elif. This will explain you elif, but at the timing, just listen. I will explain elif statements tomorrow. Enter it. Okay, then done. Now you can observe. So some space it is showing. See. So if you put a cursor, don't hit reformat file, it will come like this. Just to put a cursor wherever like this kind of like underscores, like dots it is coming in the program, put a cursor. Automatically it will populate like this, a reformat file. As per the Python programming standards, it will align for you. Okay, it will format for you. Okay, if you write a wrong like indentation, all those things. So now I'm going to run this program. So enter first number 55, second number 45, third number 35, biggest number is 55. So you can, why I have written this logic? In the operators concept, there is a and, or, not, right? We have discussed in the yesterday's topic operators. And there is an operator called greater than and less than. Just now we use it for to validate to condition about two biggest numbers, so n1 and n2. But here we are using mixing of both. Two different operators, and or not, that comes under which category you have to remember, and greater than less than symbols also. This is another operator. This is the usage of operators in our programming, and wherever we are doing the conditional programming and normal programming also, it will come. You have to think it, the logical, that is the called logical programming is required for, logical thinking is required for program development. So you have to grab it. So based on our theory, what kind of programming theory the programming language is going to support to write a program. Okay, here the requirement is this. I want to do the calculation. Okay, what I need to do? I have to use plus operator, minus operator, something like that. So that we need to strike in our mind, and we have to construct that logic in our mind while writing a logic. So that's the reason. So we have to use based on our need. we can use any number of operators. Okay, this is another example. Okay, for if else, I'm having some list of programs. Okay, on if else, same like biggest number of two numbers, something like this. So I will provide that list of programs in the drive along with this video and notes. Okay, I will provide in the drive. So open that notepad. I mean, whatever programs I shared, try to write the logic in your own and share to me tomorrow by mail. If you are shy on that by showing on others, I mean, in front of others, send a mail, or else you can share your system at the end of the session and you can show it to me how you are executed. At least that approach I need, because I don't know how many people are installed or how many people are not installed the software, Python, PyCharm in their systems, and they are practicing or not. So I need the confirmation. Then only I will get a satisfaction. Okay, these people are at least practicing and they are following like my classes. So by listening and listening again videos, it's not use. See, programming, see, if it is a manual classes, manual testing, or it's any kind of theory classes, so that listening is enough, and but practice is also required, because if you as a manual tester, so you have to practice the writing a test cases, all those things. But coming to programming linked programs, I mean programming linked classes, whatever it is, a developer, a test automation tester, a data analytics, whatever it is, wherever the programming language is linked in our career, okay, software career, you have to practice in multiple ways. Otherwise, you cannot write, you cannot able to understand, you cannot go through further in our career. So practice it. If it is a mistake, no issue. From the mistakes only, we have to learn all those things, right? See, basically I'm a formal Java developer. So I worked almost 6 years as a Java developer. So after that, based on the market, and I have adapted Python, and because of uses of multiple environments, ML and all. So I want to switch my career to ML developer. Okay, machine learning developer and artificial intelligence developer. So I learned Python. So even at the time of learning Python, I didn't go through this much of basics about all these operators and all, because it's basic things. Even there is there in Java also. Why we need to use in Python? So, but while writing a logic, I stuck. Okay, how can I write? Again, I gone through the notes, the same notes, whatever I'm sharing, that was learned, that prepared by me at the time of learning Python in 2016 or 15. So I have prepared the notes and I practice it multiple times. Then I am able to write the logic without having any dependency at that time. So slowly I can adapt, I can learn all the latest technologies for the Python development. And I worked as another 6 years into Python development. So due to some dependencies, I shifted to automation. So because of lead position and all. So to fulfill my personal life also, I mean, to balance my personal life also, I shifted. But I worked on all these development areas. I know how the pain it is if you don't know the basic things. So please practice it. Okay, all the theory, whatever I am saying, you have to put it on our notes or ever online executor. If you people don't have a installed system, like there is no laptop also, they can directly open in the mobile this online compiler, Python online compiler. You can type in Google, multiple compilers will come. You can write your program here. Whatever you are writing in the PyCharm, that should be useful here to write it and run the program. Okay, and people who are installed Python and PyCharm, start practicing today. I will share the list of programs, and those programs will tomorrow. I need to see all from maximum people from their systems. Okay, yeah, that's all about today. Tomorrow we will continue this conditional statements topic under if, elif, else. Okay, this topic. After that, I will jump to loops. After that, I will jump to transfer statements, because this is a order. Okay, we have to follow the order too while learning the topics. Okay, yeah. Anyone is having doubts, you can ask now. I will clarify your doubts. We have a less time.